welcome to the second of our bonus pods.
Yes.
So we've gone from the childhood sort of trauma of into Infinity Day After Tomorrow, where the dog went missing.
Oh, no.
Yeah, okay. And now we are going to do God's Will. Not God's War, as I've been calling it for the last 4 episodes.
Okay.
God's Will.
God's will, right.
So, but before I introduce the episode,
Yes.
I thought we'd pay a little bit of tribute. I thought we'd do a little pre-pod before we do a post-pod.
Okay.
So in this pre-pod, so we lost Prentis Hancock this week, didn't we?
Yeah.
Who played Paul Morrow in season 1.
Yes.
And Paul is sort of, his character was a sort of second in command of Moonbase.
Yes.
And he had a great moustache, didn't he?
He had an excellent moustache.
Had a brilliant moustache. So it's the first it's the first, unless something dramatic happens, the last
Yeah,
that we're going to get on this show of one of the major stars leaving us, isn't it?
It's so sad.
It is. It's very sad. So I just thought I'd say a few little sort of things about him. So he was born in Glasgow. He didn't come across as being Scottish.
Not at all.
He didn't go, oh, me John, or anything like that. Come in with a sporran or anything like that.
He did not.
He was very sort of posh and British, wasn't he? You know what it is. And he was born Walter Prentis.
Oh.
So Prentis was his middle name. Because I was thinking, you don't hear Prentis, do you, as a
No,
name?
you don't.
So it must have been like some sort of weird family name, really. So his main thing, apart from 99, was he was in lots of different episodes of Doctor Who as lots of different characters.
Right.
And he even did the audiobooks for Doctor Who.
That's very
The
cool.
big Finnish audio thing. So he's quite big in the Doctor Who world.
Yeah.
And you know how mad them fans are.
Oh, who he is, yeah.
They're absolutely
Yeah.
ridiculous. And then sort of before this, he was in a programme called Spy Trap,
Oh.
which was where he was like a sort of a spy. And he started that with Julian Glover, owner of the Silver Shorts in Alpha Child, which I thought was really quite cool.
Yeah.
And apparently he worked up to the late 90s in terms of like doing stuff on telly and what have you. So he had a good career.
So how old would he have been in the 90s?
I don't know. Well, he was born in 1942.
Right, okay.
So he was 50.
He's 50s.
50s. Yes, that's good, isn't it? So yes, bless him. And he was also in Survivors, which is a brilliant sci-fi program done around the same time as 99.
Right.
And he was a right little shit in that. He was a ruffian.
Right.
His moustache was not a good moustache.
I see.
His moustache. So you know, I just thought we'd say something first.
No, I think that's lovely, yeah.
We don't want to end on a downer, but yes, God bless Prentis, and I hope he has a lot of fun in the next world.
Yes.
There's a right sort of, what do they call it? Is it like an entourage? You know, like when they have
Oh,
a
yeah.
cast of players.
Yeah.
And they do Shakespeare and stuff like that. There's a few up there now, isn't there?
Oh, absolutely.
Him and Martin.
Yeah, but not Barbara.
Not Barbara, not yet. No, as I say, not unless something happens in the next hour.
Yeah.
You know, breaking news. But no, so I just thought I'd say a little bit about it. So anyway, on to God's Will.
Yes.
So a French dude, and I'm going to say he was called Eric Bernard.
Eric Bernard,
But
okay.
it could be Bernard, but I can't imagine it'd be French being Bernard.
I think Bernard,
Bernard,
yeah.
so Eric Bernard. In the late 90s, he took it upon himself to take 6 episodes of Space 1999 and redo them and sort of like update the special effects and like, fix errors and stuff like that, because he was sort of saying that like when you rewatch it you don't realise that there's the sound effects in the wrong place and stuff like that. So he took it upon himself to re-edit them. So he did 5 episodes, and basically all he did was just tart up the special effects and what have you and stuff like that. But the 6th episode, he decided to retool. So this, God's Will, is his version of War Games.
Okay.
But he does it so that there's a bridge between year 1 and year 2.
Right.
So it doesn't just explain, it doesn't just do what year 2 did, which just completely ignored Paul and Tony, and sorry, not Paul and Tony, Paul and Victor not being there anymore.
Yeah.
Is he tries to explain it as part of the story.
Ah.
The only thing you can have a bit of shock with is that he used the Laserdisc version to do this. So Laserdisc is a step behind DVD, which is obviously a step behind Blu-ray.
Yeah.
So you have watched 48 episodes in perfect high definition.
Right.
This ain't high definition.
Okay.
So your glasses aren't weird. You don't need to see the oppositions tomorrow. This is like, I'm just trying to see the resolution, 480. So this is like a sort of third of the resolution of HD.
Okay.
So I just thought I'd just give you that prompt as well. But he's very clever, and he just did it all on his own. He taught himself it all. He said it literally took him years.
Okay.
to do it. I think it took him like 5-6 years to do all the episodes that he did. And this leads quite nicely onto our final podcast. Because part of this helped to sort of sow the seeds of a possible revival. And I'll just leave it at that. So yes, so God's will. So we'll have a lot of fun. And plus, it's quite, that's why I thought I'd do the Prentis thing first. Because we're going to see a lot of him now.
Right.
Because this is a year 1 episode, this.
Okay.
So yes,
I'm excited.
Yes, So yeah, it's shit quality, but just go with it, okay?
Okay.
Because I know you. There was a moth on the screen the last podcast, and we had to go get rid of it, didn't we? So yeah, so it started with the ITC logo.
I saw that, yeah.
Yes, and now we've got the sort of the Black Sun music, and it's the stars. And who is it?
It's Martin.
So this is John floating.
In outer space.
Yeah. So this is halfway through War Games from the original one.
Yeah.
This is all very ethereal, isn't it?
It's very ethereal indeed.
Yeah. So if you remember year 1 used to have a cold open like this, didn't it?
Yeah.
Remember when Jackie Crawford was born? And you were like, we're in medical. Oh, it's a boy! So John's doing his little monologue, isn't he?
Yeah.
Bless him.
This space is all very pretty and purple.
It is, isn't it? So your time frame, as I say, is roughly 99, 2000-ish for this.
Oh.
We've got some bits of like spaceship, we've got some spaceship wreckage and another dude, which I think is Alan actually, if I remember rightly.
Right.
Yeah. Or it could be the dude out of Space Brain, I don't know.
And did you say that was an improvement on the special effects?
Yes, much improvement. So we've got year 1 openings, but what's different?
The music?
No, the music's the same. Well, the music's slightly different. But the font's different, isn't it?
Oh.
The font moved.
Right.
So Eric did, instead of doing a sort of cutty about the episode, he's done a fast cut, but it's all the episodes. So we had a bit of Gardener Piri, didn't we? We've had a bit of Black Sun.
There's all sorts in here.
Yeah, so he's done the fast cuts, but everything rather than just that one episode. And
Yeah.
who's this?
It's Victor!
You see how the font's going all in and out and
Yes.
stuff?
Yeah.
It's a bulbous font, isn't it?
It's fancy.
But it is very similar to the year 1 introductions, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, it had the picture of the actor and then sort of like turning and stuff.
Yeah. It's quite good. So it's a different take to the year 1 theme tune.
Yeah.
But unless you're a geek like me, you wouldn't notice it.
Right.
Yes. So God's will.
God's will.
God's will. Yes.
You know what it looks like?
What?
It looks like it's on somebody's telly and somebody's recorded it playing on their telly.
Yeah, it's the best I could do.
Yeah.
This was taken down sort of years and years ago. So the first thing he's done is replace the Hawks with alien spacecrafts, and these spacecrafts are from Buck Rogers.
Ah!
These picture spacecrafts from Buck Rogers.
Right.
As Katie opens a chocolate.
I know, sorry guys.
I know.
Sorry.
Well, it won't be one of our final podcasts with your food making a lot of noise, would it? You know. So Eric's point was, why would they shoot straight away at Earthcraft?
Right, yeah.
They wouldn't, would they?
No.
So he's made them alien.
I think I said that to you when it was on.
Yeah, it made no sense, did it?
No.
This isn't quite your style, is it, John? Shoot first and ask questions.
See, Victor's just said it. It's
Yeah.
nice to have Victor back, isn't it? The voice of reason.
Missed Victor.
Well, not now. It soon will be if we start shooting at them. What are you suggesting we wait? Wait to find out?
Come on, Victor. You tell him.
No. John needed Victor.
Yeah. Yeah.
All sections out for
Tony didn't say much, did he?
No.
You know, although he did. I think Sandra said more than Tony in year 2. You know, what's Commander doing? So having a red alert.
So where's Paul?
Oh, you missed Paul. Paul's on his little desk. He's there.
Right.
He's there. Yeah. So we're now going into the Eagles, aren't we? Here's
So
Alan.
Alan's there, yeah.
Good old Alan. And that other dude that I can't remember who he was. I could not be bothered going back for me notes from War Games and just trying to remember who he was. Because the whole point of this is to know what's different. So all the Eagles are launching, aren't they? Yes. And huge medical is being
I
told
know,
up.
it's so different.
That little box room that they use for year 2.
And even like looking at the uniforms and everything, it's just.
You notice it's quite muted. He's toned it down a bit, hasn't he? He's sort of separated it a little bit. So here's the spaceships from Buck Rogers. On
And
the
the
way.
Eagles, going to meet them.
Did you see Computer Carnu in that last shot?
Oh no, I didn't.
Left, yeah. No way, you'll have to, won't you? So the Eagles are about to attack Buck Rogers. there's a crossover.
Oh, Alan's on the screen.
So the Eagles now, I don't know why, but they reversed the angle.
I was going to say, yeah, they've changed direction.
So the one thing you don't get that you got in War Games was that the introduction was that you had this massive spaceship, and it was Star Wars ripped it off. You know, at the beginning, it was just the huge spaceship going over the planet.
Yes, yeah.
So they're shooting at these things, the Buck Rogers spaceships, and the special effects are different.
They are, they've been blown up completely.
But I will leave it to your judgment whether you think they're better or not. So there's more coming, more Buck Rogers ships. Have you actually seen Buck Rogers? The 70s version?
I don't know.
No, it's very, you know, Flash Gordon, it's very much like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's that campy sort of humour.
Yeah.
You know, it's very disco.
I might have seen like the odd episode.
Actually, it's quite similar to this, in that the first season's okay, the second season's complete shite. So.
I like the second season of it.
Oh, don't spoil the last part.
Alright, okay.
So we've got blue jets coming out, blue lasers coming out, these new
That
ones, haven't we?
eagle was just obliterated.
Yes.
Wow.
So we've got a lot of bad things happening, as per the original episode as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, that man's fell down a hole.
He's been sucked off.
Oh.
He's been sucked off into space.
Oh.
There goes the other dude. Is that what it's called? Explosive decompression. Is that when I've had too much curry?
Yeah. John's eyebrows are different.
Are they? Do you think Eric spent 5 of those 6 years redoing his eyebrows?
Yeah, I do.
His hair's shorter as well, isn't it? Yeah.
And
Yeah,
dark hair.
I'm quite pleased with the year 1, just to reset everything.
Yeah, his hair's darker, he looks younger.
So when we talk about like the differences between year 1 and year 2 is with your memory.
Well, this is it. You were saying, tell us if you think they're better or worse. I'm like, well, I can't.
Oh dear. So anyway,
It's weird not seeing Maya there.
and
Select your opposite number.
I don't think he didn't get Maya in this.
Not even at the
No,
year
the
2 bit.
idea is that this was transitioning into year 2, so it wouldn't have made any sense to put Maya in.
Alright, okay.
Yeah. So anyway, so the remaining Eagles are off to fight a battle, aren't they?
There was smoke coming out the back of the car.
Wasn't there?
I don't think I've seen that in the originals.
So this is a lot more. So if you remember War Games, they kept shooting at the ships and they kept winning. So Eric's made it a little bit more sort of even now. So some of the Eagles are getting broken and some of the others, you know, the Buck Rogers ships. So that's to try and make it a bit more realistic.
I was just going to say it's more realistic, isn't it?
Yeah. So unfortunately, there's still Eagles blowing up.
Yeah,
isn't
there
there?
are.
Eric Bernard. There's accents on these names, so I knew he was French.
Right.
So Alan's just blown up somebody, but a bit of rubbish has come off the spaceship and it's crashed into his ego.
And it's all gone sort of shaky, the screen, isn't it?
Yeah. It's gone shaky cam, hasn't it? And the eagle's wobbling.
It's like when your car's going too fast with toss and shudder.
When you turn the caravan.
I've never done that.
So Alan's turned the lights off, so this is his ruse, isn't it, to remember when he plays dead?
Yeah.
Let's hope they take us for a dead one.
I've just said
Oh,
that!
you just said it!
Good old Alan. I love the music as well. It's one of my favourite year 1 pieces, this.
I lost contact with Africa.
There's Paul.
And his moustache!
And Tanya.
Tanya?
Bottom left.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I remember Tanya.
Well, you called her Audrey for half of season 1.
Audrey, I remember Audrey.
But then again, I think everybody got a different name in year 1, didn't you? We had Captain Kaput.
Yeah.
So we're in we're in main mission,
which is totally different.
which is smashed up now.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea, what Eric was trying to do is to show that main mission gets smashed up and they have to move to command centre underground.
Which is why it's different.
Yes, this is what he's showing here. Is he's edited it to show them that they all had to go downstairs. You too, Victor.
Mm-hmm. Come on, Vic.
Victor doesn't want to go downstairs. He's like, shit, where's me brandy? I don't want to have to go downstairs. I've left me brandy upstairs. That Koenig will have it. Yes, the year one uniforms are very iconic, weren't they?
Yeah.
Year two could have been in anything, couldn't it?
Yeah.
The sort of plainness and the single sleeves.
Yeah, it's very plain, I think, is the right word.
No, but it's simple but elegant, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, one of the Buck Rogers ships has just blasted the upstairs main mission.
Gosh, there's fires and everything.
It's not going well, is it?
No?
It's not going well.
Oh my gosh.
Well, here comes the fire extinguishers.
That's a miniature one? The desktop fire extinguisher?
What do you remember most about Space 1999? The really small fire extinguishers. Not the eagles or anything, or the characters. No. At least they got a little bit bigger in year two.
Yeah.
So he changed it so that Bob doesn't die. Bob died in this scene, so what's happened is that there's a hole in medical and you get that stupid spray can silly string, shaving foam, whatever's, and it gets rid of Bob, but Bob doesn't die.
And Computer Corner's computers are on fire?
Yeah, I'd be very upset about that.
Oh yeah. So John's getting everybody out of main mission.
Yeah. To go downstairs.
Yeah.
So beam. So medical's going to shit, isn't it?
Yeah. So this explains the new medical centre.
It
Wow.
does, doesn't it? So you
Yeah.
see where it was going with this, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
That was Bob. We only saw him for half a second, so don't worry about
But
it.
he was alive for that half a second.
Yeah, so he's not dead. Yeah, he's not dead. Whereas in War Games he died. So John's just rescued Helena out of what do you call it?
Yeah.
Main mission.
And he's being a bit touchy-feely with her.
And because they didn't like each other in this, did
No,
they?
not so much.
So everybody's like outside of medical, including Paul. Hello, Paul.
Stay here. How about?
John's hatching a plan now.
He is, isn't he? He's got that look in his eye.
He says, nobody retcons my TV program. Nobody French called Eric.
Is that Sandra?
Yes, yeah. So another ship's come. I can't remember where he got this from, but it's not the original other ship.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it? I don't know.
Well, they're going by the book.
Can't remember. The Bombers.
First, they eliminate the fighter defenses. Then they send in the bombers.
What's the one? I can't remember if that was the original ship out of War Games or if it's been redone.
That's very
Long.
long. Yes, it is long.
Yes. He has got such really short hair, hasn't he?
And his eyebrows are darker and sort of popping upwards.
I have a post-pod, I have a quip about that.
Oh.
Literally about his eyebrows.
No.
So end of Act 1. That was a busy act, wasn't it?
And I felt like it was short.
I need to find out about his I need to find out about that ship now.
Yeah, whether it was the original or not.
Oh, it's such a complicated. So anyway, so remember Alan's playing dead.
Yes.
If they can get it launched.
So in War Games he actually blows it up, doesn't he?
Pete, this one's down to us.
So yes.
Head up the target display.
Need to find out about this spaceship. So you need to talk.
Okay, so they have a targeting system on the screen, which is beeping, and they appear to be sort of making their way somewhere. I'm not good at this impromptu thing. It looks like Luke's thingy when he's going along the alley in the Death Star.
You're alright. So it's the bomber from the Mark of Arcanon. You know, the strange boy and his dad?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's that ship.
One of the symbols on the
Yeah,
head.
it's
Yeah.
that ship. There you go. Right.
I keep thinking when these fall over, because they're in this sort of really pale jumpsuit,
Yeah.
that when they fall over and the bum's in the air, they look naked.
Well, that's just your dirty mind, not, you know.
Toledo 1, you copy.
So anyway, Alan's blown up the Mark of Arcanon ship.
Yeah.
Oh, that was terrific.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
The big one.
well done.
Go on,
I
Alan.
recommended for Alpha. Actually did. I thought you were still alive. We were just playing dead.
I didn't know you were still alive. Quite casually.
I don't wear gloves.
No?
So you see things you don't remember, do you?
What do you think they've got next? Relying on you to tell us.
Oh, look at the clip of John there.
Victor, how are things down there?
Go, Victor!
What was that? Their doomsday weapon. It was intended for Alpha, but haven't gotten its way. He's all right. We've got a lot of casualties, Victor. It's one hell of a mess up here. Simon's at the computer now.
It's all very serious, isn't it?
Yeah,
Troubleshoot to door 9. Corridor 9 is safe, and from there you can enter through the commander's office.
I still want to know what her accent is.
Well, we're running out of podcasts.
I know.
If you need to find out, then go and find out.
Like, is she Russian? She's Belarusian?
I don't know what a natural accent is either. I don't know whether she's from, like, I don't know, South End or something. I don't know.
I assumed that was a natural accent.
Well, you've got one podcast to find out.
Oh, it's not long.
So this is their little meeting. So there's one subtle difference in this meeting.
Right.
Let's see if we pop it up.
28 dead.
So 28
Mostly
dead.
there's no trace.
So in war games there was 128 dead,
Right.
and that's when you knew it was something was going to happen. Whereas 28 dead.
It's not as much.
So yes. So there's none of that flashbackiness when they go back in time and they redo it again. This is obviously of that 28. You see where they're going with it now, can't you?
Yeah.
Or where Eric's going with it.
Yeah.
I think so, Alan. Anyway, we're still alive. The question is, how do we stay alive?
About the emergency power, Commander. We're running on solar batteries. On minimum requirements.
How does solar batteries work when you're with a moon floating in space?
I know.
Like in the void.
I was literally thinking that.
That is not all, Commander. The food production and recycling plants...
So basically, if you remember, they're saying they're up to shit and the only solution is to land on the planet. On the Exodus planet.
Right.
So do you remember Operation Exodus?
Yes, it was
used
every other
every
episode,
week.
wasn't it?
Yes, so their only solution here is to Operation Exodus.
But how are the other planets habitable?
Nearest star system will be...
Well, when Victor says you have to do it, you have to do it.
Yeah.
You don't.
Okay.
You don't do the what.
You
20
just
questions.
accept it.
What
Yeah.
Victor says, the science says, you've got to go. You've got to go.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. I would listen to Victor's advice.
Yes, they're off to say hello. And do you remember the Conehead dude in the box, in the glass box? You will do, sure.
Yeah, when I see him, I probably will.
Yes, Isla Blair, Julian Glover's other half.
Yes.
Yes.
Unless any of you have a better idea, the only course open to us is to go
Don't you remember that this was at the time the most expensive episode of a TV program ever made?
Yeah.
And you've got Eric with his, like, I don't know, Pentium PC or whatever's in the 90s editing it. But that didn't cost $1.7 million or whatever it was.
The whole thing, the colours are so muted, aren't they?
Yeah, and I don't know if that's intentional just because of the sort of editing software that he's been using.
Yeah.
So anyway, so John and Helena are off down to the planet. I wonder if he's changed the planet. Because the planet was quite iconic, it was quite domy.
Right.
The ship now approaching your planet.
Oh, there's Paul. We come in peace.
Commander John Tony requests permission to meet
We come
and to
in peace.
discuss
Shoot
our
to
situation
kill.
with your leaders.
Kill. He hasn't edited the flares, has he?
Nah.
He hasn't got a filter for deflaring.
Oh, I mean,
you know.
why would you though?
Could you do the opposite? Could you up flare?
Oh, maybe. But Victor looks so pale.
He's brandy.
Yeah.
Got a bit of colour back. So the eagle is now going to the planet.
You can barely see the yellow in the harness straps.
It took some finding this.
I bet it did.
Because this was on Eric's website, which hasn't been updated since 2006.
Oh wow.
And he pulled the episodes as well, so I'm assuming that somebody from ITV went cough cough. And then all the YouTube links and stuff like that, they're down as well.
Right.
So I had to use some of my superpowers to get hold of a copy of
Well,
this.
well done you. Well done you.
So
I
we've got-
remember this.
We've got domy things. I think that's roughly how it was, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks familiar.
Barry Gray's music's back as well. We like a bit of Barry, don't we? Love Barry.
There's nothing between John and Helen and her, like, is there?
What do you mean?
There's no sort of chemistry or spark or...
Which ironically, if you remember how the episode plays out, it's her breaking down and saying, I want John.
Yeah.
Which saves the day, isn't it? Her hair's a bit more curly than in the other one, isn't it?
I much
Year
prefer
2.
year 2 hair.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh. So anyway, they're being remoted. Is that a word? Is that a verb?
Remoted. I suppose, can you still create verbs these days?
I don't know. Do anything. So they're being remoted onto this big sort of, I don't know, space plinth. It's very Cloud City, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very Cloud City. I would say a landing platform.
Yes. And remember that Star Wars was after this.
Yes.
And this was the one that George took a lot of notes from.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah. So we're allowed to say that Star Wars pinched this, because they probably did.
They probably did. I guess, though, that makes sense. It's like war games, and he's making a film about galactic war.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, absolutely. George was not afraid of like pinching from the best. He didn't care.
Yeah.
You know, anything was a goal.
Oh.
So now Thomas the Cat has decided to stand on the remote control, so we just have to fix the telly for a second, don't we? Yeah. Let's hope there wasn't a pivotal scene. Oh, it's just them getting transported into to the Conehead's room or whatever we're going to call it.
They beamed me up Scottish, didn't they?
Yeah. Thomas the Cat didn't want us to see that scene.
No. He's also upset that Toby the Cat is in his sport.
So we're back in this, like, it's full of like circuit boards and
I was just going to say, it's like a circuit board on the wall.
strange coloured glass.
Yeah, purple glass.
Plexiglass, yeah. So even though it's been slightly muted, it's not a very orange episode, this, is it?
No.
Because even that Dorcons episode we watched had orange in it, didn't it?
Yeah,
Do you remember?
there's orange all throughout it.
Yeah. What do you make of it? What do you make of it? We're being re-edited, Helena. I don't like it.
So it's very clever the way he changed what she said from 128 to 28.
Especially then.
Yeah.
I mean, now you can do all sorts of things, but you know, and he just said you just after work, you just used to do it every night and weekends and stuff.
Did he have family, friends?
Hobbies.
Yeah.
A life. Oh bless. Everybody's got a passion, haven't they?
Yes.
He said his next one, if we would have done another one, would have been Dragon's Domain. He said, but he didn't have the skills to do it justice.
Right.
I can imagine redoing Dragon's Domain.
Imagine.
With that monster and everything, with the bumhole monster.
Yeah.
That would have been amazing, that, wouldn't it?
Maybe one day you should.
Well, in the last pod,
Yeah.
you'll see a bit of that.
Oh.
But anyway, the Coneheads are here. What he has also done with the episode is he put it. I know it doesn't look like it, so you'll have to go with me.
Right.
He's put it into widescreen.
What?
So the original was 4:3 normal TV ratio. And he's put it into widescreen, which is why you can't see the top of the Conehead.
Okay.
So yeah, he's done that to obviously make it more sort of presentable. But the way that we're looking at it, it's lost its effect, hasn't it?
Yeah, it totally has.
Yes. So Anthony Valentine, male Conehead.
War machines and bombs.
So John's shouting at him now.
Which John's thing, wasn't it?
Reason that you don't want us to stay here. Some basic incompatibility.
So this is a Muff episode. Because he's saying that you're a scourge. You know, you're an infection.
Yeah.
The universe doesn't want mankind. And for those of you who think we're being rude, Muff is the sort of the hidden force that ties all the year one episodes
What
together.
does it stand for again?
I knew you were going to ask me. Something unidentified force.
Right.
What does the M stand for? Can't remember now. Anyway, it means John has to shout. That's
Yeah.
it.
I'm
Mysterious unidentified force.
Right.
That was it.
Yes.
And it all got resolved in the Arcadia episode where the skeletons are on the table and
Stay.
yeah, it can't stay.
We cannot live on our
Your head's too short. You need to have a long head before you can stay here.
With a strange sort of
Deny us our future.
vein thing above the nose.
You carry with
It says it looks like a penis.
I was
doesn't it?
just gonna say exactly that.
I don't remember that from year one.
No.
Do you think Eric's added that?
Yeah, I think he's
I
added
need to watch the original now.
hidden peni.
Yeah. You'd be saying it's a trident, an octopus, you know.
At first glance, I thought it looked a bit like a rocket.
Here's Mrs. Conehead. Here's Isla.
See, her head's not terribly cone-like.
It's not as coney, is it?
No.
So do you remember from the original podcast why they weren't looking at each other? Mr. and Mrs. Conehead.
No.
It's because in real life they just thought they looked totally ridiculous and kept breaking into laughter every time they saw each other. So that's why they're not looking at each other, because they couldn't keep a straight face.
That's brilliant.
Isla's the wife of Julian Glover.
Yeah.
And Isla was in the season 2 episode Journey to Where as well.
Right.
So just to remind you of that as well.
I've forgotten how aggressive and shouty John was in this.
Oh, you'll love the anecdote at the end of this then.
Oh yeah.
You really will. Yeah. Well, do you remember when you were going through what he did before this? He was like Caiaphas and people like that.
Yeah.
He's very good at being, you know, curmudgeonly.
Alpha male.
Yeah, but it's not just that, just like shouty arsehole.
Yeah, yeah.
I love him with some late stuff. If you want to see him do exactly the same, watch Meteor, 1979. And he's the general, and he just sits there telling Sean Connery he can't play with his rockets or whatever. And he's just exactly the same, but he wears a military uniform.
So a disaster movie.
You've seen Meteor? Yeah. Yes, a meteor's about to crash, and basically the Russians, the Americans, got to join forces to blow up this asteroid. And
it's very topical.
And what exactly, and he's the general saying, "We can't talk to Russia, we can't speak to Russia. How dare you even insinuate it?" type thing. And Sean Connery's trying to save the world here.
Yeah.
With Natalie Wood, who's the Russian dude, Russian woman. Yeah. Anyway, John's hatching a plan now. He's showing violence.
Yeah.
Because he can't do it any other way, can he?
Oh, he's smashing the place up. He's such a knobhead, isn't he?
And Conehead's come out of his box with a gun. Oh, and Mrs. Conehead. And then shot John.
Shot John, yeah.
So Act 2's not as strong as Act 1, is it?
No, but it ended dramatically.
Oh, new special effect. That's beautiful, isn't it?
Sun or planet.
So that was my original criticism of the first time we watched this. Is that it's all action, 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 blowing up spaceships, action, action, action. And then you get Coneheads in a box and John shouting for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It's very sort of like yin and yang. And the other thing is that why would you spend $1 million on special effects to show us things blowing up and it was all a dream?
Yeah, no.
It just doesn't make any sense, does it? So anyway, we're back on Conehead Planet and Helena's crying because of John. So this is when we first saw Helena like reveal her true feelings, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So the Coneheads are rounding up on her.
Yeah, they're advancing on her, aren't they?
Male Conehead is significantly taller than female Conehead.
Significantly taller.
You will not kill us, Dr. Russell.
Of course you
The
won't.
power of your weapon will be turned against
Yeah,
yourself.
so female Conehead doesn't have a penis on her head. She has one of them bingy spots again, doesn't she?
They like the bingy spot in this. So what's happened to Helena here?
She gets turned into a Conehead, remember? She gets put in a box.
Oh, yes.
And she has superpowers.
I remember this now.
It was 6 months ago, I don't blame you.
I know, I barely remember my breakfast.
You can share
But it wasn't a pod from a pod.
It wasn't.
No.
to your
No.
wish that he should live.
So yes, this is Helena. She's in soft focus and it's crappy resolution, so it's basically practically impossible to see
it could be anyone.
Soft focus in soft focus, imagine it.
Has John got a bleb on his face?
Yeah, he's got like a wound, like
Yeah.
a burn wound. So she's now resurrected John, because of course she loves him. Even though he does nothing but shouted her for the first like half of a year.
I know.
Hey, you women like a bastard, don't you? Like a bit of rough.
I'm not commenting on that. No comment from me.
Oh, dear. So John's now been resurrected.
Yeah,
The first thing he does is get hold of his gun. He's not saying thank you very much for bringing me back to life. He's like, what can I shoot now?
Yeah, maybe he didn't realise he'd been dead. Maybe he just thought he was knocked out.
You know how men never learn?
Yes, yes, I do know that very well.
Well, John never learns, does he? So he's gone to Helena's box because he wants to give Helena a cuddle, and there's some sort of force field, isn't there?
Yeah.
Helena doesn't want to live in a box for the rest of her life, does
No,
she?
she doesn't.
Hey, do you remember that film Boxing Helena?
No.
Oh, it was very controversial at the time.
Never heard of it.
Very controversial, yes. So it was Julian Sands
Right.
and Sherilyn Fenn, I think, although I think she might have got replaced. But anyway, the story is this bloke kidnaps a woman, puts her in a box, and then she refuses to be captive, so he chops her arms and legs off and literally puts her in a box. Your face. For podcast audience, that's boxing related. I never saw it, I just read about it. Yes. Very controversial. As you may have gathered. That's probably a podcast rabbit hole we don't need to go down.
That's the sort of thing I can't watch.
Yes.
People chopping up people, I kind of do.
No. But it was all psychological as well. Anyway, that's the story. Yeah, I can see.
That was heavy.
So Alan's on his way. Not Alan. John's on his way back.
Yes, Commander.
Without Helena.
Without Helena. Yes.
Right, Commander.
So he wants the laser equipped eagle. There's obviously more violence.
Well,
I mean,
obviously,
the moral of the story is that you don't need to be violent. You don't need to shoot everything all the time.
just chill out a
And
bit.
all he does is just find different ways to be violent.
Yeah, he's not getting the moral of the story, is he?
Oh dear. Do you think we'll ever evolve? Because I don't want to get politics into this. But we're recording this when there's riots in LA in 2025. Do you think we're ever going to learn?
No. No, the human race will destroy itself and either take the planet with it or it'll be a blessing on the planet that they're gone.
You have 3 minutes.
Right, okay. You'd have been good writing these episodes, wouldn't you? Katie's Law. You know, maybe we should get you learning, I don't know, Adobe Premiere, and you could do your own version of this,
Hey.
but everybody dies at the end.
Yeah.
So anyway, they've cleared out.
We came from planet Earth,
Victor's doing his little sign-off message here.
Yeah.
called Alpha,
Oh, I love this
to
message.
learn more about space.
I'm going to shut up now.
But human error
What you were
lasted
talking
too
about?
soon out of the Earth's orbit. And so we have traveled the universe
Bless.
searching for a place to live.
I miss Victor.
Now,
Me
I
too.
don't miss Cardiff.
we can no longer live here,
It's a bit nondescript, really.
and we go to face an uncertain future
As good as a Klingon.
on the planet that has nearly destroyed us.
Yeah.
You, whoever you are, who find this empty vessel
So
of Alpha,
they've entered main mission as well. I thought I'd just mention that.
Yeah.
Which is obviously
come
important.
and seek us out
Yeah.
if we still exist. Come and teach us all you know. Because
That, right?
we have learned
Yeah.
many things, but most of all, we have learned that we still have much to learn.
Good old Victor! See, there'd have been like a million seasons if they kept Victor, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
He'd have now been played by, I don't know, or I know it's a bit late, but Alan Rickman or somebody like that, wouldn't they? They'd have kept him going, wouldn't they? Yeah.
That was very moving.
He's brilliant, isn't he?
Yeah.
So to get back into Eric's brain, so they've cleared main mission now.
Yeah.
So the idea now is that they have to go downstairs and they're going to do the Operation Exodus thing as well. So that's the explanation for this. And Carno and Paul have had an embrace, haven't
I have,
they?
yeah.
That was lovely, that, wasn't it?
So that's really explaining.
So this is important now. I don't want to. There's Tony! You got Tony and an eagle? Sorry, I had to tell you that.
That's really good, isn't it?
Yeah? So we've just seen Tony and an eagle?
So that puts him in series 1 as if he'd always been there.
Season 2. Oh, Tony in season 1. Yeah, so I was filling victim mode.
Right.
My fault. Yes, so we got Tony in there. That must have been hard to do, that.
Yeah, it must have been. Maybe that took 3 to 5 years.
Tony just read.
Yeah.
Would have been cheaper.
Oh, that looked like 2 bugs about to,
Mate. So Tony Hancock was still alive roughly around when he was doing this. It would have been cheaper for him to get him back and just put him in front of a green screen, wouldn't it? Or quicker, anyway. Not that
definitely
cheaper.
quicker.
Yeah. Right, so we're doing a rendezvous. So Red Shirt is taken over John's eagle, and John's in Alan's laser fired splatty eagle thing.
Yeah.
This is why it explodes and he ends up floating in space, if you remember.
Yeah. And John's busy putting the orange spacesuit on.
He is, isn't he? Oh, I'm sorry, but it was really nice to see Vincent, wasn't it?
Yeah. Is this it? Have we been doing this for an hour?
No, we've been doing this for 40 minutes.
Right.
Am I a prisoner?
No. Is Helena a prisoner?
You are free to walk where your mind has the will to take you.
So yes.
Yeah, that was a fancy yes, wasn't it?
Am I free to walk out of here?
No.
If your mind can find a way.
You know when you ask kids a question, you never get a straight answer.
Very familiar, yes.
What's this, isn't it? So do you want chicken nuggets or pizza? Well, you know, 3 days ago I had chicken. Do you want chicken nuggets or pizza?
Will he?
What sort of pizza? Do you want?
Will he succeed?
So Helen is trying to work out, does she want chicken nuggets or pizza?
And you know what?
What?
I was never even given a choice.
So the special effects on the planet with the death rays changed now.
Yeah.
So the idea is the planet's pulsating to destroy or to get rid of the eagles. Yes, and I was never going to chase. Take it or leave it, I think that was the
Yeah,
choice.
eat it or don't.
It's a good special effect though, isn't
That
it?
is good, yeah.
Because the special effect, you remember, you won't remember, but when we watched the episode it was crap and we said we spent £1 million on that. Because it was terrible. It was just these like blue lights coming off the planet. So that's
I
great.
mean, that's it. It is definitely pulsing.
It's brilliant, that, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's like an aquatic octopus type thing, isn't it?
Oh.
So anyway, they're about to get blown up. Sorry. I just thought I'd just
Oh
remind you.
no, the front's come off the ship.
So he's very talented. So I was reading something about, somebody did something similar with, I think it was one of the Alien movies, and they ended up getting employed, getting a full-time job out of it. Yeah, or was it one of the Star Wars? I can't remember which one it was, but somebody did something very similar. And they told themselves how to do all this sort of stuff with special effects, and then they got a job out of it.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Was it Alien or Star Wars? I can't remember.
I think it's more likely to be Star Wars.
Yeah, because there's a lot of fan edits and fan fiction and all sorts of things with Star
Yeah.
Wars.
Is Alien not quite well shot to start with?
See if I can remember. So we had John and we've got Tony again.
I know.
Tony's with Sandra.
I really like they've got Tony into this.
But Bill Fraser was in it, which why you wouldn't have seen that, would you?
No, there would have been an empty space.
So there's millions of eagles now going to the planet, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's Bob.
So they obviously don't know. Well, they must know what's happened to Helena because John's there.
Must know what's happened to her. Yes. But his body's floating in space now, isn't it?
It is.
And Eric's put some eagles going past him, which wasn't in the original.
But why are they just leaving him there?
I don't know if they've noticed yet.
I think I'd be upset if nobody noticed me just floating around in space.
You'd be upset and dead at the same time.
Well, yeah. And I think I'd rather upset a living person than a dead person.
Human brain.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Why did you think it had been an hour?
It has been developed over generations
Because
and
we
grows with
usually
each life
do an hour and you said the first part was over.
Yeah, but because it's in 3 acts. All the programs are in 3 acts. You know when you get the music at the end, it goes duh, 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 end of act 1, duh, 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 end of act 2, and this is act 3.
Right.
That's why. And then you get an epilogue, which in year 1 was usually something really serious, like when Simmons died in his box.
Oh, yeah.
And in year 2 it was Tony's home room. Sorry if I wasn't clear about that. This isn't a 2-parter, it's just an episode. Just a normal episode. In fact, it's a bit short for an episode, this.
Right.
Yeah, it's 43 minutes long, this.
Eva's head.
Oh God, Helena's doing something weird now.
She's zoomed out, hasn't she?
So this is them retconning it so that, I don't know.
Oh, the eagles have all flown into,
The pulsating thing.
Yeah.
So I think this is her, thinking about what could happen. And
So
all the
she-
eagles are exploding in the pulsating thing, aren't they?
is she having a premonition?
I think boxer. Yes, because this is all about her getting John back alive, if you remember.
Yeah.
So that was Paul just being blown up. Oh, so is this Eric killing off the ones that didn't make it to year
I think
2?
so, yeah.
Oh, you can't kill Victor. We've only just got used to seeing him again.
I know.
Get rid of him again. Bring back Victor. Can we have Robot Victor? You remember Robot Maya? Can we have Robot Victor?
I think this is his way of saying these people died.
So, yeah, I'm totally with you. So, John's back now. So she's brought John back.
Your presence on this
Guess
planet
who's back?
would destroy a
Back
civilization that has survived.
He's in orange though, so we would say there's no orange. It's been a very orange second half.
Yes, it's been, the future's bright.
In our world, there can be no fear.
Can we no fear, did he say?
Yes, no fear. So John is now shooting up the moon base. The Conehead planet to rescue Helena.
Yeah. So how does he think? Hang on.
What?
He's floating in space.
No. She brought him back with the power of her mind and her new superpowers. She brought him back. Because the Coneheads were saying to Helena, you can have whatever you want. You just have to think about it. So anyway, the Conehead planet's all shagged now. So John's got to go find Helena.
Why didn't you think them all back on Earth?
Oh, I don't know. You're talking about a 50-year-old program and somebody else is reimagining of it. You know, we used to go, what?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, it's what to the power of infinity, this, isn't it?
That's a lot of to the powers of, yeah.
It's what to the power of a Googleplex.
A Googleplex?
Yeah. Anyway, so he's found Helena. So Helena in the original's dead. So obviously she's not dead. Even in Eric's world, she can't be dead.
No.
But she's in year 2.
John's devastated.
Do you think it's like Sleeping Beauty and he just gives her a kiss? Oh, is it Sleeping Beauty? It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Snow White's another one, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, Disney was all over that shit.
So Helena's fine now.
Yeah.
Helena's alright.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's very tender.
I didn't quite notice if he kissed her or not.
He did not.
Okay. So we need to go now, don't we? We need to go.
Yeah, things are getting serious.
Margaret the cat's eating Bert the Hedgehog's food, is that alright?
Yes, but the hedgehog still eats very large amounts of radish.
Okie dokie. I was just checking that before we had a complete animal calamity.
No.
So anyway, you have to listen to this.
Among all the despair and hardship we are suffering, I can't help but ponder on this 20th century quote. In the end, it was the fear of fear that drove the aliens to destroy themselves.
Fear of fear?
Even among what seemed to be unsurmountable odds, unbracing of fear has always kept us struggling to survive.
Got that stupid cup again.
It's hard not to believe that our faith
Is
is
that meant to be
somehow
John's
destined.
monologue?
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like John's
Embrace my
monologue.
fears, trust my destiny, or as some might say, believe in God's will.
So the idea was that the Coneheads committed suicide
Right.
because they couldn't be bothered with fear and all that sort of stuff. So yes, so that was God's will. So is it Basil or who was the first? Anne, wasn't it?
I
Anne or
think
Basil?
it was Anne.
I can't remember. So it was. Oh, Gladys was back on continuity. Basil! Ah, that was interesting, wasn't it?
It really was, yeah.
So just to fill in Eric's blank,
Right.
Victor didn't need to have died for it to work for year 2. But I'll explain that fully in the last podcast.
Okay.
In our very, very last podcast. You just have to go with me on this one.
Ah.
So yes, so that was quite a clever way of trying to sort of bring together year 1 and year 2. We saw Bill, we saw Tony.
Yeah.
Paul died.
Uh-huh.
There was actually a shot of Paul getting blown up in his spaceship.
Yeah.
Which I think is very poignant considering how we started the podcast,
Yeah,
isn't it?
definitely.
Oops. Art imitating life and all that sort of stuff. So yes, good old Eric. So it's space2099.com, his website.
Right.
And I will put a link to his website because whilst it is like 20 years old, there is some good stuff on there.
Yeah.
There's some interesting stuff. So, post-pod, this is going to be lots of fun. It's also going to involve YouTube, and you know what YouTube is like with me, don't you?
Yeah.
So anyway, famous fans of Space 1999.
Ooh.
So I put the feelers out and sort of got some opinions on some famous fans on Facebook and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So here's the list.
Oh.
Are you ready for this?
I am.
You're going to have opinions,
Oh.
but we'll keep the opinions short and brief because it's a podcast, isn't it?
Right.
Number one fan, Elon Musk.
Oh my gosh.
He has stated that Space 1999 was an early influence on his interest in space exploration. He watched the show as a child in South Africa and was fascinated by its futuristic technology. So we'll move swiftly on, shall we? Yes. Number two, Christopher Nolan. Which makes a lot of sense.
It does.
He admired Space 1999, particularly the spacecraft designs and its serious tone. So if you think about his films, that does fit in well, doesn't it? You know, things like Interstellar and what have you, Inception. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Number three, J.J. Abrams. So he rebooted both Star Trek and Star Wars.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, if you want a dude, a sci-fi dude. He says it was inspired especially by its blend of hard science fiction and mysterious storytelling. So the next one is, this is a great one, this. Number four, Tim Burton.
What?
The acclaimed director is a known fan, mentioning that Burton asked Martin Landau to sign his Space 1999 lunchbox.
That's excellent.
Brilliant. So number five, Brian May from Queen. So Brian May is most famous as being the guitarist from Queen, but he's also a doctor of astrophysics.
Yes, I knew that.
Yeah, so he said it had a big impact on his passions for both music and science.
Wow.
Number six is one of your favourite people in the entire universe, Mark Hamill. He says he especially liked Martin Landau's performance. So I wonder if some of John rubbed off on Luke. I don't know if there's anything there.
I wonder, but Luke's quite a serene personality, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't know. So who knows? So number seven.
Yeah.
We're not meant to like number seven anymore, but we have to mention it anyway. So Neil Gaiman.
Right.
Who's in trouble at the moment because he's been accused of all sorts of stuff. He says he enjoyed Space 1999 as a child and appreciated its darker, more philosophical tone.
Oh.
That fits in well with his work. And then number eight is one of your favourites, John Carpenter.
Right.
Who did The Thing and Halloween 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and all that sort of stuff. He said it was an influence on his work, particularly its atmospheric storytelling.
Wow.
So there we go. So there are three more fans.
Okay.
But I'm going to do a little humorous interlude.
Right.
So Martin Landau, you were speaking about eyebrows, weren't you, in that last episode?
I was.
He was down to be Spock. But he turned it down. So could you imagine shouty, emotional, aggressive Martin being Spock, who's the complete... He's like, yes, Kit, less Jim, yes, Jim. You know, he's very, very sort of...
I don't think Martin Landau is distinctive enough.
Can you imagine that? That's why he probably turned it down. So for each episode, you've got to be completely emotionless.
Yeah, I think even like... Because the guy who plays Spock's quite striking, isn't he?
Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah.
He looks a little bit alien, doesn't he? Yeah. Yeah. It's like when you sort of when you say to the kids, right, if you don't do something in the next hour, I'll give you a tenner, and they just do it anyway.
Yeah.
That would be Martin, wouldn't it? It'd be like, so Martin, you've got to be completely emotionless, and he'd go, and action. And he's like, and Jim, why are we landing on this planet? It's full of green aliens. Cut. Martin, no emotion.
Yeah.
So anyway, so bringing it back to the British Isles, there are three more famous fans.
Yes.
So one is Brian Cox.
Right.
Brian Cox is not the actor dude who is in like loads of things and all sorts of stuff. I'm trying to think of what you'd know Brian Cox from, the actor. You'd know him if you saw him. He's in his 80s anyway. He's getting on a bit. But there's also Brian Cox, the astrophysicist. So there's a link here, isn't there?
Yes.
So Brian Cox, the astrophysicist, is very famous in the UK because he does lots of popular science programs and on Sky at Night and stuff
Big
like
fan.
that. And he's an astrophysicist, but he's also Oh, he does lots of other popular stuff as well. He's in an episode of Doctor Who. You know, he does loads of stuff like that, and he's a big sci-fi geek.
Yes.
And he actually sometimes, for when he does his things, he does like he'll wear the uniform with the sleeve.
Yeah.
Or he's got a T-shirt that says coming soon this episode. You know, when they do the flashback thing. So he's very sort of like he loves this sort of stuff as well. So and then there's two more fans that are famous in this country.
Right.
It won't be famous anywhere else.
Yeah.
So there's two BBC newsreaders. One's called Clive Myrie,
Right.
who's a black gentleman who's very sort of posh and he's brilliant. He did a lot of the Ukraine stuff. You'd know him if you saw him.
Right.
And then there's this lady, and she's called Samira Ahmed, and she's also a newsreader as well. Mm-hmm. Now, she went on a TV program called Mastermind.
Okay.
And for people who don't know, Mastermind is a quiz show, but it's very serious. It's very straight. You're in a dark room.
Yeah.
And you have a very strict quiz master and it's in 2 rounds. And your first round, you get to pick a subject. Mm-hmm. So you get to pick a specialist subject, and you can do, I don't know, jams of the 1950s or something like that.
Wow, it's very specialist.
And then you get a general knowledge round. You add it all up, and then you go into the next one. And it's famous because it's got loads of catchphrases like, I've started, so I'll finish. Because if you're in the middle of answering a question, you run out of time. It goes, I've started, so I'll finish. And it carries on with the question.
Which a lot of quiz shows don't do.
So I thought for a bit of fun, because there's a number of times we've done the pod, and at the end I've asked you loads of stuff and you've had to answer. I thought we'd get John Humphreys to do it.
Right.
So let's see how well you've done with Space 1999.
This is fun.
So this is going to be... Also, I've got to hope that the technology works.
Right.
Because this is YouTube. So it's only 90 seconds.
Right.
It's only 90 seconds. So anyway, I'll put a link on the description if anybody wants to watch this, because it is good fun. But are you ready? So here's...
Oh my god.
Let's see how it works.
1999.
This is Samira. And she's wearing...
Sandra's.
Right, here we go.
When a nuclear waste dump explodes, which leaves the inhabitants of Moonbase Alpha unable to return to Earth. On what date in September 1999 does the explosion occur?
The 13th.
Sorry?
13th.
Yeah, Monday the 13th.
Yeah. Space 1999 was filmed mainly at one of the UK's best-known production studios, which...
Pinewood.
Yes!
Studios?
Pinewood.
Yeah. The series' special effects director later won Academy Awards for his work on the films Alien...
Who's a special effects dude? He's also the singer from AC/DC. You were doing so well.
My mind's gone blank.
Oh dear. Shall we let Samira have a go?
Yeah.
And The Empire Strikes Back. What's his name?
Brian Johnson.
I was going to say that.
Some and other episodes, it's revealed that Professor Bergman has been fitted with a mechanical internal organ.
Heart.
Yay! So you're at 3?
Yeah. In the first episode, Breakaway, John Koenig, played by Martin Landau, is sent to Moonbase Alpha as a replacement for a commander played by Philip Maddock. What's the commander's surname?
What's the commander's surname? Remember he said he was off to play golf?
It's not Simmons.
No,
I don't know.
Gorski.
Right.
Orsky.
Yeah. Which British actor famous for his roles in horror films is a guest star in the episode Earthbound? He plays Captain...
Earthbound? Who was the actor who played the main dude in Earthbound?
Is
Colossal
that
guest star? Yeah.
Santor, an alien from the planet Kaldor, who tells Dr. Russell that her beauty would be greatly enhanced by suspended animation.
Christopher Lee.
Yes, a veteran English filmmaker, later known for his work on A Fish Called Wanda, directed more than a dozen episodes of the series, including Matter of Life and Death and The Lambda Factor. Which director?
You won't remember. I'm struggling to remember this
No,
one.
I don't know.
I think it's Foul Guest, but I could be wrong.
Right.
Charles Crichton.
Yes.
Oh, well, there you go.
Pop and blues musician appears in the episode Black Sun. He plays the part of Michael.
Pop and blues musician.
Playing Black Sun. He dies at the beginning. He's Sandra's sort of boyfriend as well. It's hinted at. Lead singer of Manfred Mann. Do-wa-dee-dee-dee-dee-dum.
I don't know.
Paul Jones.
Right.
The pilot who dies when his Eagle spacecraft disintegrates.
Paul Jones.
Yeah. The shape-changing alien Maya, who joins the Alphans in Series 2, is a native of a planet that's destroyed in the episode The Metamorph. What's the name of the planet?
Psychon.
Ah! I didn't press pause quick enough. Psychon. Well, you'd have got that right anyway, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Samira, you have 9 points.
Yay!
How many did I get?
You got 7, didn't you? Because you knew Cyclone, didn't you?
Yeah.
So it was the director, the Charles Crichton thing.
And Paul Jones.
And Paul Jones. You did
Hey,
really
I'm
well.
pleased with 7.
Well done, yes. So you could have gone on that. So that's really cool. So what I've noticed though about all these people who know 99, who are fans of the show,
Yeah.
it's very much late 40s, early 50s onwards.
Like you.
Like me, yes. In fact, I'm a little bit young when I look at the demographic.
Right.
I'm a little bit young of it. So I don't know how old Samira is. I'm going to find out now.
But you're mid-40s.
Very, very, very late 40s.
Like you've got, what, 9 months of them left?
Oh, dearie me. So Samira, let's find out. That's Samira. Oh, she's channel 4. Yeah. Oh, 68.
Wow.
She's doing well, isn't she?
This was 5 years ago, so still.
Yes.
God.
So yes, so all these people who talk about Tim Burton and Christopher Nolan, they're all 40s, 50s, 60s type thing, aren't they? There's nobody like young, happening, hip, trendy who's gone, I love 99.
If you told me she was 48, I'd have believed you.
She does okay. So yeah, so that was good fun. So well done. So
Thank you.
Just for a change, somebody else asked you the question.
That was fun, I enjoyed that.
Good old John Humphreys. We'll have to find out if she wins, won't we?
Yes.
So actually this is Champion of Champions.
Oh, so
these
she's
are
won another one.
4 people who have already won.
Yeah.
They then do like the final thing as well. So do you think we'll be able to, with the technology, work out if whoever won or not?
Let's find out.
Because there's somebody else. Oh, I don't know if it's actually on the video because it's only 9 minutes. Oh, hang on. Let's have a look. The winners were 21. She won.
She won, yeah. Woohoo!
Oh, you see, the cleverest people watch this show. I mean, Brian Cox is literally the cleverest man in the universe.
He is, yeah.
So if that's the high benchmark, isn't it?
It is, and for any people who like pretty men listening, I give him a look.
And he's a man.
Yeah.
He's from Oldham.
And he's very pretty.
Oh, jeez. Put it away, woman. And he was the keyboard player in Doreen.
He was, yes.
Things can only get better.
Wasn't that Tony Blair's campaign song?
Yes, it was. So, anyway, so that was a bit of fun.
Yes, that was brilliant.
So that was quite, I drew a blank for a very long time with that search.
Right.
Until all these like really, really, really famous Hollywood people started popping up like that. But it's funny how they're all sci-fi authors, directors. I mean, batshit. Tim Burton's middle name's batshit, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's not so much sci-fi,
John
is he?
Carpenter.
He's more fantasy, I guess. But
John Carpenter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's quite funny, isn't it? Really. So that was really good. So yes. So our last podcast.
Coming right up.
Coming soon, yes. Next week we'll do the movies and we'll do a few other little bits and pieces.
Oh no!
Oh, I'm dreading it because I've got so many buttons to press. It's ridiculous.
Okay.
But anyway, so do you have anything to add? Do you want to tell about how Bert's just pooed or something like that?
Bert has not just pooed.
Has he not? So
And
Bert the dog hedgehog on Instagram. Yes.
He's allowing a tummy rub.
That's good news. So I'll add the links to YouTube.
Yeah.
For these little couple of things, if you can find God's will, fine. Good luck.
Yeah.
It is a good fun thing to do. And if Eric ever ends up listening to this or watching this, you have so much respect for spending 5 years of your life doing that.
Good job, sir.
Yeah. I know our podcast, we take the mick out of various things, but we genuinely are in awe of that.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want to do a Blu-ray HD version, he did actually speak. I'll talk about it more in the next episode. But he did actually speak to the powers that be about doing it properly.
Right.
Yeah.
So obviously you said no.
Nah, did the shite. Right. Well, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, and thank you, Colin. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that.
Well, let's see if you say the same thing in the next episode.
Okay.
Bye all.
Bye.